Hey guys, welcome to Coronavirus with George. Today I want to talk about something I found on CBS News that was kind of interesting. They had this death index, and I'll link this in the comments if I remember to. You can Google CBS News death index. And basically, what it is it goes through the ways in which people die in the United States. And they use 2017 for all their numbers. So there's just, how many people died from each type of thing in 2017. And I wanted to compare that to our coronavirus numbers. And so today, you noticed we passed the 5,000 marker. Actually, that was yesterday. 5369 right now. So, and that's for the United States. So let's compare it to 2017, what people died of. So right here, this is number 51. So this is like 51st place. Was homicide not related to guns. You have some strange categories here. And that's 4,968 deaths there, right? So that's the one we passed recently. And then anemia apparently kills 5,382 people. And we're just about to pass that one today. And then let's skip ahead. Hardening and narrowing of arteries. I never even heard of this one. And apparently 5,500 people die of that. We will also pass that number today. And let's see what else. 5,600 people die of viral hepatitis. And 5,698 die of HIV. So we'll pass the number of people who died of HIV in 2017. That's where these numbers come from. We'll pass that number today also. What else do we have here? 6,000 people Clostridium. Okay, this is called C. diff. The only thing I know about this disease is when I used to work in a few hospitals, not as a medical professional. I was in the boiler room. I worked there while I was in college, and we had orientation, so we learned a little bit about what went on in the hospital. And I remember we had these rooms that had to be kept at a vacuum because certain diseases would spread if you didn't keep the room in a vacuum. And C. diff was one of the major ones. They also mentioned how hard it was to kill C. diff on surfaces and things. I don't remember, I'm probably lying, but I think I remember hearing something like soap doesn't kill C. diff or something like that. They had to go and bleach the whole room. I could be wrong about that, don't quote me on that. Anyway, it looks like 6,000 people a year, 6,118 people died that year anyway from C. diff, and that's also a number we will probably pass today. So that's about where we're at on with coronavirus. Now, a couple things about this. If you end up reading this death index, they use 1 year instead of using averages, and difficulty with that. The only thing that comes up to my mind is we talk a lot about how coronavirus compares to flu, and I'm not going to click all the way forward because it's around number 10 or 15 or something. But flu was worse in 2017 than the average year. I think about 55,000 deaths in 2017. Whereas the average year for flu in the United States, it kills about 35 or 36,000 people. So if we use the numbers from this, which we'll talk about as we go on, when we pass the 35,000 mark, we're going to talk about how, the deaths have passed the flu. But remember, for this particular article, they'll use 55,000 as the number of people that died from flu. But that's, an especially bad year. Okay, so that's that. Let's go over the overall numbers. We passed one milestone, and we will pass another one. In fact, let me refresh my page. Maybe we did already. Almost there. So we will pass 1 million deaths today. 50,000 deaths and 1 million cases worldwide today. And a good milestone, 200,000 recovered. So there's something. All right, let's scroll down. So back to the numbers for the countries. United States. Yesterday, we had 26,000 cases. Let's go back to the percentage increase day over day. So if you remember seeing this, I made this chart and I put in a prediction of 33% increase day over day, right? And then I logged the actual numbers. And you notice up till here, it was kind of ahead. We were ahead of the 33% increase that I was guessing. And then it caught up right here, where the actual number for that day was 104,000 total cases, and the predicted number would be 105,000. And then it slowed down, right? Then it started to fall behind. The actual numbers fell behind the predicted 33%. And you can see 21, 18, 16, And so we've actually been going down, right? The percentage increase is now 14% from yesterday. So, yesterday we had 190,000 cases. If you add 14%, you get about 25 or 26, whatever I said the number was, thousand new cases. So if we had continued at a 33% increase, which we kind of were for a while from about here to here, if we continued like that, we'd be at 442,000. So you can see the difference between a 14 or 15% increase day over day versus 33% increase. Huge difference. We would be at 440,000. We're only at 215. So I guess that's kind of good news. And the fact that this percent seems to be going down sort of indicates that the virus is spreading less. So what could this be caused by? Maybe it's caused by the social distancing. Maybe it's actually showing its effects. The other thing could be that there could be some amount of herd immunity in some places, right? Because even though 200,000 or whatever the real number is, right, we might have 1 million cases in the United States right now and not know it. That's a small percentage of the population. Still, there are certain places where maybe you might have a town or a city where 1 or 2 or 5 or 10% of the people might have caught it. And so now there's some herd immunity within that area because people don't all just live equally distant, spread throughout the United States. There's cities, there's towns, there's country. And so even in New York City, well, what do we got? Like, I don't know what the number of cases in New York City is. Can we find that? Probably not. We'll give it a shot. New York, no, they don't give it to us by city. New York State has 92,000, so maybe some of the towns in New York State might have a larger percentage, enough that, people aren't, some of it's an infected person runs into people who are already infected, already had it, and so there's less spread. Perhaps not. Who knows? But certainly, we could say this might be due to the social distancing, right? So we went up to 97. We might hit 1 million before the end of this video. So the 14%, that's good news. It's certainly seems to be on a downward trend. And if we get to 10%, then we're looking at the number of cases doubling every 7 days. It still doesn't sound great, but it's an improvement. And if we get to 5%, then we'll have the number of cases doubling every 14 days. So that's only twice in a month cycle. So, we're getting to somewhere that hopefully it's going to slow down. So we looked at the U.S. We talked about Italy. We didn't talk about Italy. Sorry. Here's Italy and Spain. Spain is catching Italy. They will. I mentioned this a few times before. So Italy reports their numbers all at once. So this is the final number for today. This is not the final number for today. So instead, let's compare yesterday's numbers. So Italy 4,700, Spain 8,100. So you subtract, that's what, 3,400 difference. So that's about the rate they're gaining on them. So let's say today, let's just stay with yesterday, right? So the difference is 6,500. So really they could catch Italy in about 2 days. So probably Spain will move up into the second place. And with increasing numbers here, this will probably follow, even though Italy's still having a higher number of dead than Spain each day. Although yesterday I think we had the most. Yeah, the United States had the most, and actually Spain had the second most. So it looks like Spain is also going to catch Italy in terms of the number of deaths. And, unfortunately we will eventually too, unless theirs keeps going up. We'll see. Germany passed China. No surprise there. I think it happened a little bit, I don't know, I don't remember what day I had predicted. You could go check the earlier videos. France will catch China. Again, we don't know if these numbers are right, but that's with every country. We can only go with what we have. Turkey passed Belgium and Netherlands. No surprise there. Turkey will pass Switzerland probably by tonight or tomorrow. Well, tomorrow. I think Turkey also reports their numbers all at once, so I think this is the final number for the day. And actually Switzerland doesn't. But they will continue to gain on them, and they'll pass them in the next couple of days. Britain's moving up reasonably fast, or UK. I don't know what the difference is between UK and Britain. I think they mean the same thing. And their death toll is rising too. Iran, some people wonder about these numbers, but we don't know, right? So we'll just believe whatever they post and go with that for now until we get some news. South Korea, still in the same spot, right? Still moving up very slowly because we're assuming it's because they keep testing people and keep catching all the cases and isolating those people, and they seem to be having some success. All right, so those are the numbers for today. Let's see if we hit 1 million before the video is over. Nope. Okay, so, hopefully we never would do, but by the time you watch this number will be at 1 million. So be safe, stay inside, take care of yourself, and how do I end this video?